Lewis Lawrence Griffin, presented by me, Lauren Lewis. In this presentation, I'll be discussing the significance of why Lewis Lawrence Griffin obtained a historical marker, and I'll be going over some brief war history. Here's my timeline. Lewis Lawrence Griffin was born October 3rd, 1794, moved to Georgia in the early 1800s with his widowed mother. In 1833, the legislature chartered the Monroe Railroad Company, and he was made the president. General Griffin auctioned off lots in the town, which was named for him through the railroad that would pass in 1840. He then moved to Mississippi, where he made another fortune and died in 1867. Summary of life. Around 1810, Lewis Lawrence Griffin settled in Twiggs County. He was born in South Carolina, but moved to Twiggs County with his mother. He was very poor and a native Georgian, would become the president of the Monroe Railroad and the founder of the city of Griffin. Griffin became a general in the Georgia militia after fighting the Indian War and other wars across the creeks. He lived in Monroe County and Macon County, all while amassing a large fortune. General Griffin purchased 800 acres of land and planted a city at the large crossing of the Monroe Railroad and another line. General Griffin also lost most of his fortune and moved to Aberdeen, Mississippi. There he remarried, raised a family, and acquired another fortune. He died in Aberdeen of July of 1867, and he's now living through and survived by his grandchildren. He was, past tense, survived by his wife and his other two children. War times. Griffin was not the site of any Civil War battles. Nonetheless, it was a vital location during the wars. Griffin, Georgia was not a battlefront for any of the wars that were definitely not the Indian War, but Confederate wars, no. Camp Stevens, located 2 miles north of McCanish Road, was a mobilization point for an infirmary. 2 military companies from Griffin and 7 from Spalding County were organized to fight. Not only was Griffin the first stop for troops and the home of many soldiers, it was also a hospital, town, and a printing center. Trainloads of sick and wounded poured into hospitals, public buildings, the courthouse, the stores, colleges, even private homes. Much Confederate money was printed in Griffin as much as most Confederate government stamps. At one point, Spalding County even printed its own currency. Although not destroyed physically by the Union soldiers, Griffin was devastated financially. 300 miles of railroad, the city's lifeline has been demolished. Yet again, as it did for the Depression, the town recovered. A new development in Griffin helped it to survive Reconstruction and its post-war era. In 1880 saw the birth of textile manufacturing in Griffin. It continued to expand by other mills in the area. Today, the company is known as the Dundee Mills / Spring Industries, is one of the largest employers. Here's a quote from the Griffintown newspaper about Lewis Lawrence Griffin. Quotes from Lewis Lawrence Griffin I could not find directly from him, but there is still historical newspaper evidence. He did more than any other man to arouse the people of central and western Georgia to a proper sense of the necessity of works and of internal improvement. Every prediction that he made to reference to the beneficial results of his designs has been fulfilled. Here are 3 photos. On the far right, we can see Lewis Lawrence Griffin To me, it looks like a photograph, a very old photograph. I doubt it would be a painted photo, but I could see how it could, like the slim chance. In the middle, we see the actual historical marker that is in Griffin, Georgia. And then on the far left, that is a statue of Lewis Lawrence Griffin himself. Here are my citations and sources. Thank you.